Welcome to the ISCB Town Hall. As you know, as the leading scientific scholarly organization for computational biology and bioinformatics, we are required by our bylaws to report to you, our members, annually on our progress as a society, as well as our statistics for our membership and our financials. So you will be delighted to sit through today's presentation and learn a little bit about how we're working to better the science, to better your experience as a member, and just kind of some of our progress updates that we've had over the past year. I'm Diane Kovatz, the CEO of ISCB, but you don't have to listen to me. You're going to get to hear from our wonderful board leaders about everything that we're doing, and it's going to be my pleasure first to introduce Christine, but this is our agenda for today. So Christine Arango, the ISCB president, will talk a little bit about where we are as a society, what we're doing, what programs we have planned, what programs we're hoping to launch. She'll announce our Wikipedia winners and also announce the results of the board of directors election from yesterday. Then Janet Kelsel, our treasurer, will join to give you the financial state of the society so you can see where we stand from a financial side of things. Then we'll be joined by our editors in chiefs from Bioinformatics Advances, the ISCB Journal in partnership with OUP that was launched in 2022, 21. And so you can understand how things are going there. And then our student council team, our executive team from the student council will join us to give you a report on everything that we have there. For the students in the room, listen in detail to that. It's a great opportunity to get involved, get connected on an international scale with some of the best leaders in computational biology. And then we'll open it up to the floor for questions. I do have a mic that I can bring around. I do ask that if you do have a question, if you could step out into the aisle so I'm not crawling over people. So with that, I will leave it to you, Madam President.
Hello, everyone. Actually, it's good to see so many. At the beginning, it didn't look like very many, but it's a very big room. And it is a good sign to see so many people here, not only because we want to tell you what we're doing, but we're hoping that some of you will get interested in what we're doing and come along and help us do more of it. So I'm gonna highlight where we're really keen to get new people coming in and giving us new ideas and new vision. And that's because the society really depends on all the people that when we have a great team in Diane and her people. I'll mention that in a minute. But for the rest of the time, we're really dependent on a lot of amazing volunteers, people who chair and participate in our committees, our communities, and all the other things that we do to capture information to provide to you. And so we need more people like that. I'm going to start, but first of all, though, again, by thanking Diane, because I'm not sure everybody realizes just how amazing, awesome she is. And also she manages it with a very small team, but they're great. You can see them here, Nadine, Val, and Seth. But really the society, as it's grown, has come up with, actually, you guys, the volunteers, have come up with more and more great ideas, which has meant that her tasks have just grown continuously, but the team's not got any bigger. So, it really is awesome how much she does, but we need more volunteers. I also want to thank the people on the kind of governance structures, our board and our executive committee, those who are leaving the board. Waituro, who's been a great member of the board for many years. And a special thanks to Alfonso, who's leaving the board, but has done so much over the years, and I'm not sure has ever been thanked enough. Actually, he's been president and actually introduced the Bioinformatics Journal, Bioinformatics Advances Journal. He's done so much. So there are huge thanks to Alfonso. But also welcome the new members of the board, Naomi, Alejandra, and Laxmi, and new executive committee members, Russell and Peja, who will be standing here next year. Thanks for taking this on. So I now also want to briefly mention that we had a very sad loss this year. Christiane, who was a great board member and also was co-chair of the affiliates. So we're very sad to have lost Christiane. Now I want to very briefly highlight our major successes over the last year. Some of them I mentioned last night. We have fantastic attendance at this conference. We have had big attendance. Every 10 years we seem to get a surge, but this is even better because we have all the online participants as well. And we really need to maintain this. And I think we have a real opportunity to maintain this. More and more biology people, biologists want to do data science, and we're the community they'll turn to. They'll want to learn about our tools, our data. They'll want us to train them and to help them. And so we need to find ways of reaching out to those people and bringing those people to this conference. So we're really hoping that our membership will grow over the years, and we're hoping that you're all going to help that by bringing your collaborators. We do have a very large membership, and that helps. The conference and the membership, and actually the journal, also help in that we like to, the funds that we get from these things are used to support all the activities of the society as regards other conferences that we support across the world. And I'll say more about that in a bit. We have this platform, which really is kind of at the heart of everything we do. It captures all the content, it publicizes everything, and we use it to do all the hybrid that we have here at this meeting and at all the other conferences. And that meant that we've reached more than 1,000 people in other countries. And we really care about that. It's a global society. We want to reach as many people as we can, especially the ones who can't travel here and who need to know more about what we're doing. And we have some good progress in equality, and I'll talk about that. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time on some of these things, going into a bit more detail. I've said a bit about the conference already, but I just want to mention we do support these other conferences in other continents and other regions. Here's some that we supported this year, one in Latin America, as you can see. They're all with hybrid. We also support affiliate conferences as well. So these are regional groups or countries that have national meetings that they want to team up, partner with ISCB, and we can help with their logistics. And I'll say a bit more about that in a bit. We're very proud that we've been able to offer some fellowships this year, travel fellowships. And if we could grow our membership and other things, we could offer more of these fellowships. So it's, again, a reason we want people to get involved and help us grow. We've had some help from the COSIs for that. We think the committee did a great job of making sure there was a very broad representation of people that got these fellowships to come to ISMB. And you can see from the list there that I think this is a very good representation across countries, continents, genders, and so on. As I've mentioned already, the membership, we struggled during the pandemic. It was difficult. We have this problem that people are very keen to join when they come to the conference, but they don't always join if they don't come to the conference. And that's something we really need to fix. We want to make sure that our ISCB is not just a one conference society, that it's offering all kinds of other things, and that people want to remain members throughout. And this is where we need your help. We think we're doing a lot already, but we're not doing enough, and we need more ideas and more volunteers. So we need to work out, how do we keep these people? We give access to all kinds of scientific communities, training communities, access to our talks, our webinars, our jobs board. What else could we be doing to keep you as members all year, or every year, even when you don't come to ISMB? We also partner, as I've already mentioned, with other conferences, and that helps bring in members too. So any other ideas that you could give us? I want to say that the journal, I think, has been a major development for our society. As I mentioned before, it was Alfonso Valencia's dream in 2004. Pedro Rajavojak, the next president, also helped drive that through with the Publications Committee. But it's huge thanks to Alex Bateman and Thomas Lengau that this is really, really successful, I think. As Diane mentioned, it started in 2021, and we've had more than 500 submissions, more than 200 published already, and you can see the trends are really, really encouraging. And some of the returns we get from this will help the society to support people globally in running their own meetings or coming to this conference. So the success of this journal is important for the science that we're enabling through it, but also it's important culturally for us as well. The affiliates committee I've mentioned already, and as I've said, this group are a collection of groups within continents, within countries that organize all kinds of things, local meetups, conferences, workshops, and so on. and they affiliate to ISCB. We can provide some assistance. They have different levels of activity. It depends on their activity, what kind of assistance we can give. But obviously we can help with branding and publicity. So, obviously if you have any ideas, or if you know of groups within your own country organizing such meetings or wanting to partner ISCB, please let Diane know or me know, or just reach out to us. We have a new affiliate this year, which is the Bioinfo for Women program, which is a very vibrant community started in Spain, but is actually has much bigger outreach. And we've reactivated a newly energized one that we had before, the Mid-South Computational Biology and Bioinformatics Society. We also have our communities of special interest. Most of these are scientific, but we also have one in training, and we have BOSC. So we have many scientific areas we cover. You can find out on the web all the different scientific areas. And also it's these people that run these communities that organize the scientific tracks that you're going to this year. So if you haven't managed to find one for your scientific area, please let us know so that we can make sure that that's covered. But they're also trying to make sure there's activity outside of ISMB to help grow our membership. And that's webinars, local meetups, partnership with conferences. And actually at the bottom, I've put an example where Gonzalo Parra is helping to drive a partnership between the ISCB COSI 3D-SIG and also the Elixir European Initiative in Structural Bioinformatics. And that's a meeting that's going to be held in Prague in November. And we would really like to do more of this. So if you have local or national meetings in a scientific area that matches any of the COSIs, please talk to those people about perhaps organizing a joint meeting, and we can help with some of the logistics, we can help with publicity, and that would be fantastic. The nucleus I've mentioned, I do see this as a kind of communication channel at the heart of the society, but it really depends on what you give us to put there and what the communities generate to put there as well. We've collecting webinars. As you can see, we had quite a lot in 2022. We have quite a lot so far for 2023. We have all the content from the COSIs and the affiliates, but there's much more we could do with this platform. We need your feedback on it. What can we do better? What new things would you like to see there? And especially, do any of you have content that you think would be valuable to post there? And would you be willing to help us capture other people's content? So we're looking for volunteers in that area as well. Education is a really vibrant community, and they generate pre-recorded tutorials. Those are made available over the nucleus. They also have an endorsement scheme for degree programs. So do you have anything you would like endorsed? Do you have other training material that you think would be valuable? As I mentioned at the beginning, many experimental biologists are really desperate for training material now that there's so much more data and they need help with data science. So if you have ideas on that, please get in touch with the Education Committee. As I said, they're very dynamic. They've participated in the Global Bioinformatics Education Summit. They collaborate with the affiliates. They're beginning to collaborate with the COSIs as well. So it's also a great committee to get involved with. And please let us know if you would like to get involved. How well do we communicate with you? We have a monthly newsletter. We have Twitter. The COSIs have their own newsletters that they send out as well. Ideas on what else we could do. I mean, the more people we can reach, the more we hope we can grow the society, but also the more we hope we can serve you. Any other suggestions? Perhaps think about your own scientific area and the community, the COSI that is enabling that area. What are they doing to communicate with you? Do they have Slack channels? Are they organizing regular Zoom meetups? Do you have any other ideas of what they could do? Please let them know or let us know. I mean, that will be helpful. I also want to mention this initiative that Thomas Lengauer is chairing. This is about really how we not only speak to you about any major disruptive event that would affect you, but also about how we speak to other societies about what we do and how we speak to the public about what we do. And again, it's important because bioinformatics, data science, computational biology is really becoming more and more important. You see articles in the newspaper now about all kinds of things we do that you would never have seen 5 years ago. So we need to take that seriously. We need to work out how we publicize what we're doing so that we can bring in the communities that need us. It would be great to see more biologists here at this meeting. This committee is also very aware of disruptive events. With ChatGPT, a policy was drafted about ethical ways of using it. We also have special sessions, and Thomas chaired an excellent one last year on scientific journalism. This year it's going to be on large language models. It's going to be tomorrow at 10:30, so please don't miss that. But there are other topics that we need to have dialogue. Genetic engineering is, I think, potentially incredibly important for food security, but we need to make sure that the public understand how we're doing these things. Also, understanding the impacts of variants is important for precision medicine. Again, we need to be communicating how we do our science and how much we care about the regulations and safety issues. Something that we really care about is making sure that the society is fair and representative of our community. And actually metrics, and we're scientists, so we know this, quantitative information is essential for understanding how well we do and what areas we need to improve in. And actually, we've really struggled with the surveys. People are understandably a bit nervous about putting their information into a survey, and I understand that, but everything's anonymous. And without it, we really can't make any proper changes. It's been great because this year we've had 65% participation across all the categories. So it's really improving. So please take the surveys seriously, because it's one of the ways you can help change the society and improve it. We have very good statistics across our governance boards, our board, our EC, governance of the COSIs. We think they are pretty well represented. If you see any issues, you can let us know. That would be helpful. And we've worked hard. This EDI committee have been great in capturing information and helping us to improve with the awards and the fellows. This year, we've had very good nominations for the awards, and we have good representation in the people who got the awards. I think we have very good representation of people who got the fellows as well, but we really struggle to get nominations. So when you look at the list of fellows, make sure you see people that you recognize. As I said last night, people who look like you, that we have good representation there in our fellows. We're really proud this year. We have 15, and we really cover a lot of scientific areas, more than we have in the past. So we have very good diversity there in terms of our scientific themes, but we also good in other areas as well. We think we're getting much better representation, but there's still work to be done. But it's really up to you to help us with the nominations. We've also introduced this dependent care award, and that's for people who have these responsibilities, either childcare, parent care, partner care, whatever, and need some support to get to the conference. We realize that you'll work out how you need to use this support, and we've allocated funds for this. And this year we've allocated 7 awards, and you can see the amount there. So please approach us if you need support getting to this conference. So I'm just going to wrap up there by saying that it's very exciting to see that huge numbers this year. It appears like we're thriving again. We've survived. As I said last night, only 15% of charities and societies didn't survive the pandemic. So I think ISCB did really well. And that's thanks to all of you who've continued to be members, continued to join our hybrid and Zoom meetings, and also all the committees and all the volunteers that have helped drive the society forward during those really difficult times. So we want to do more, though. We want to build on this. We want these numbers to stay high. We don't want to see this traditional dip. We want the numbers to remain as they are. So please let us know what we could do better, how you could help us do that better. And remember that we really need new leaders all the time. We need young people coming in, maybe who don't want to lead just yet, but who want to learn how to lead. And we can guide you through the different committees, the different steps you need to take to become the people that help drive the new ISCB of the future. So on that note, I want to thank you all again for coming. And I hope we hear from some of you and you've got ideas about how you'd like to change the society yourself and bring your vision to the table. Thanks very much. Okay, switch theme. So I'm just going to mention the Green Task Force, which is led by Alex Bateman. And I think this is a great initiative, actually. I think many of you will have thought about the way you travel here. So people are very conscious of this huge issue that we have as a civilization, as a society. What's the society doing about this? How is society trying to think sustainably? Well, we're very careful about the venues we choose for our conferences. We're very careful about choosing cities that it's quite easy to get to. There's very good public transport when you get there. We also make sure that all our badges are recyclable. The lanyards are made from plastic bottles. We make sure the program's online. We also make sure that any leftover food goes to the homeless. Other things that have been set up by this committee is the ISCB Grove. And this is where people can donate to plant trees. This is some partial offsetting for the emissions that are involved in traveling to these conferences. That you can also sign a pledge. And the important thing about signing this pledge is that you have a look at the things that can help. It's a good way of learning how you can make a difference and how you can adapt your lifestyle to ways which are more sustainable and greener. So it would be great if you had a look at that pledge and thought about signing it. We also have a competition to see who can find the most environmentally acceptable way of traveling to this conference. And I've heard of some amazing routes and journeys, actually. And I can't wait to hear who's the winner on that one. So that will be announced at the end of the conference. So a lot of great initiatives here. Again, if you have any ideas or if you want to get involved, Alex Bateman is leading this initiative. On that note, I want to remind you again about the survey. I mentioned about this already. It's not just about finding out about you, which is really helpful for us to make sure that we understand the demographic of the people coming to this meeting, but it's also we need to know what you think about this meeting and about the society generally. So it's hugely helpful to get your impressions. It doesn't take very long, and we'll be really, really grateful if you could participate in this survey. Now I come on to the results of the Wikipedia competition. Actually, again, not to keep name dropping, but this is Alex Bateman again, who set up this initiative, and I think it's been great fun as well as really informative, and a great way of bringing a lot of young scientists into the society as well. So I'm now going to announce the results of this year's. It's the 12th annual Wikipedia competition, I should say. The goals are here for you to read. It's really about communicating science to the public, increasing the quality of the science that's reported in Wikipedia, especially around bioinformatics and computational biology. And we have prizes that are monetary and also complimentary membership to ISCB. So the first place for 22-23, these are joint winners. Going to similarity measure, that's Adam Dubsky, Lucas Fernandez, Dolapo Salami, and also Tecnologias de Transcriptomica, that's Aaron Gallego Crespo. Are they coming to the stage now? No? Okay, just announcing them. Yeah, thank you. Well done. That's great work. The third place, because we had two first places, the third place, also joint actually, Indice Cao, going to Emmanuel Nunes, apologies for any mispronunciations, Sofia Zorilla, Goretti Mendoza, Mario Molina, and also DNA annotation going to Anton Pashkov, Sofia Gonzalez Sanchez. Well done, and thanks so much for participating, everyone who took part in that. Then the results of the Board of Directors election that we've held recently are just shown on this slide. So congratulations to Jana, Christoph, Celine, Vinicius, and Yoshiro. We look forward to you joining the meetings next year. So yes, please thank them for standing, and congratulations again. Don't forget as well that we need you to cast your vote for the next vice presidents and secretary of this society. So please, the polls are open now. It really doesn't take very much time, and we really need to know how you feel and what people you want to bring into those roles. Thanks very much. I think that's it, and it's over to the finances now.
So I take over and present the report on the finances of the society for the last years. I will try to keep it short so that there's time for discussion later. So starting with just a high-level overview of the position of the society as of June 2023. What you can see here is that the current assets of the society, just move the pointer so that you know we should be looking, around 2 million euro, of which approximately 1.4 million is effectively available. So the society is in a healthy position. And I think that's unusual given the factor of the last 3 years when we've been through Corona, not had in-person meetings. Many societies, as Christine has said, did not survive that. We survived it because of a very wise decision that was made by the board some years ago to put aside a bit of the money that we'd been collecting over years of registrations and memberships, aside for a rainy day, not knowing what that rainy day might be, and it turned out to be a Corona pandemic. Because of that money, we were able to fund the society over those 3 years without income from meetings, but also with reduced membership. I think that's the main points for that slide. So that investment has performed quite well. However, we've also seen in the last year returned to face-to-face meetings, but you see here reflected what I said before, right? So in 2019, we had an in-person meeting. We did quite well. There was a net profit from the meeting to be invested back in, and then the pandemic came and we had to cancel our 2020 meeting in person. And 2021 and 2022, we had losses. The society made losses in all those years. So the running of the society was funded out of the reserves that we had from the 2019 meeting, as well as the reserves that came from the investment. So thus far this year, the society is still operating at a deficit. The success of this meeting will enable us to break even. That's our prediction. So your attendance here matters a lot for the continued survival of the society. In addition, we still have money in investments. The performance in investments, as you may know, over the last year have been quite disappointing. So we have lost some money over the last year in our investments, but we're seeing some rebounds now in 2023. The board has been discussing how to think about that investment and how much we should keep in an investment for the next rainy day and what we can take from that to use for programs of the society. So we're interested in knowing what people think is important for the society. Where should we invest any money, any profits that we see in this year? Because we like to invest back into the programs of the society. One of the ways in which we've been investing in the society over the last year is by offering the possibility to attend the meeting online, so this hybrid model. It's quite costly to run a hybrid meeting. It's also quite complicated technically, but we do think that it increases access to the meeting for people who couldn't perhaps travel here either for financial reasons or for personal reasons. And it's something we'd like to keep doing and investing some of our finances into. As I think Christine has also said quite clearly, we're looking for ways to diversify the revenue streams for the society. We can't continue to draw on the investments that we have indefinitely. And you will hear next about the journal, which is one of those pillars of revenue income for the society and has been already very helpful. We have hired in the last year a consultant who's helped us with sponsorship and advertising and fundraising that helps to bring more people to the meeting and also to increase the membership. You might know about the ISMB Career Center. This is a job board where you can look for positions, or if you're an employer, where you can advertise positions. And that brings us a small amount of income as well. And then collaborating with other conferences so that ISCB members get discounts on registration, and we're interested in doing more of that, if possible. So as members, you can help ISCB by renewing your membership. I think I'll talk about membership next. Christine has also said we see the membership very tightly related to or linked to conference attendance, and we'd like to understand how we can make it attractive to keep membership despite perhaps not attending conferences. There is the possibility, if you have a lab, that you can buy lab membership, and some people have taken advantage of that, or even institutional membership. And then, of course, by attending the conferences, either virtually or in person, also supports the society. I'm now going to skip to membership so that you can just see what this looks like. So we are currently, the purple plot here, the numbers are probably a bit small, but we're currently at 3,700 members. This is the largest the society has ever been. You can see here our low in 2020, the beginning of the pandemic. Many people didn't renew their membership when there was no meeting. And this, of course, had financial implications for the society. But we've seen a very steady uptick since then. So we've been very grateful for the support of members of the society who maintained their membership despite the absence of conferences. You see here by category, in green, these are student members, in red, postdocs, and in purple, professional memberships. So you can see that the student members are still the vast majority of our members, and that's a very positive thing, and we like to determine how we can retain those members, because they're important, and what we've seen in the past is often people are members while they're students, but they don't continue that membership when they either move to industry or into their faculty positions. If we look at this regionally, then what we see here is that the majority of our members, about 45%, are in North America. And this year we see last year that there's sort of a little peak here. That's because the meeting last year was in North America. We see a slight drop this year, but not so very much. So our North American members are sort of maintaining their membership at a good rate. You see here Europe. You see a much larger variation in who keeps their membership outside of years when there's a conference in Europe. So here was the last conference in Europe. That was the one in Basel, and now this year. So we see much more variation in the maintenance of European membership, and that's something we'd like to address. We've seen a nice growth in membership in Asia in the last year, and that's encouraging to see and might be related to some joint meetings we've been doing with the Asian Society, so GIW and others. And we see pretty stable memberships in other regions of the world, so in Africa, Australia, and South America. Good, thank you.
Any questions on the finances?
Good,
thank you. We're going to now move on to the bioinformatics report. Yes, we need to switch this slide. Yeah, thank you. Okay.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. So it's a real pleasure to have the opportunity to come and tell you all about bioinformatics advances. I'm Alex Bateman, one of the editors-in-chief of the journal, here with my glamorous assistant, Thomas Lengauer, my co-editor-in-chief. And so let me tell you more about it. So the journal is designed to represent all areas of science of ISCB, as well as emerging areas and society content. And when I think about the scope of the journal, I think, could I see this paper being presented at ISMB? And that's kind of the standard of what we would include in the journal. The journal is jointly owned by ISCB and OUP, and that's a really fantastic relationship. It's working really well. We're just over 2 years old now, and we're expecting to get our first impact factor late next year. We have a variety of aims for the journal. We're really keen to encourage diversity in all its aspects at all levels of the journal. And we're really keen to have like an author-centric approach to the publication process. We actually want to publish your papers. We want to help you, make them publishable. It seems sometimes it's more of a battle to get your paper published. We don't want things to work that way. We have a great team who process the papers rapidly and with a great deal of care. And so our time to first decision is averaging 27 days, which I'm really proud of. And we're not driven by perceived impact of papers. We want to publish, represent the whole of this community. And, if it's good science, then we want to publish it. So we have a great team of editors. So we have the 12 associate editors here, and along with Thomas and myself, who also take on our load of editorial work. So we're completely gender balanced, and we have a good geographic diversity as well, I feel. Okay, so Christine stole our thunder here. The journal is growing really well. So we kind of doubled in size from about 50 papers in 2021 to 100 papers in 2022. We estimate that we'll publish about 200 papers in 2023. So that's about, we're getting a submission of 1 paper every day. We have a very high accept rate, right, 62%, and there are reasons for that, and I'll talk about that next. So one of the key strategies of this journal, at least initially, is that we would take transfers of papers from other journals where the paper, for some reason, didn't fit the scope or the impact criteria of those journals. And then the authors, well, the editors of those journals, if they thought it was a good paper but didn't fit these criteria, they would offer the authors a transfer to Bioinformatics Advances. The author has to say yes, and if they do, then the paper gets transferred automatically across to us with reviews, if you have them. And that's really great because it means we can make a really quick decision if your paper gets transferred with reviews. We aim to do that within 3 working days. And that reduces the amount of reviewer effort. You have less people having to re-review the same papers that are bouncing around different journals. And because these papers have been looked at by editors from other journals, they won't send us everything. They make a pre-selection, and that's why I feel we have this high acceptance rate, because these papers are really great papers, actually. Sometimes I wonder why they didn't take the papers in the first journal, because, they're so good. We're also taking transfers from a variety of conferences, publishing preceding papers, and so we've had 33 of those accepted so far. So transfers aren't everything. So we also, if we want the journal to grow, we will take de novo papers submitted directly. And in fact, we're now at the point where the de novo submissions have overtaken the transfers. So I'd really encourage you to send your work directly to us. So what's next? So as the journal grows, we're growing the number of associate editors who do the work. We're also expanding the editorial board to better represent the science and diversity. We want you to submit your work to us, but also we need to increase the amount of society content so it better represents the activities of the society, including the cozies and so on. So if you have ideas about content that we could publish, then we'd be interested to hear that. And also we've been actively talking to the cozies about having review content, perspectives articles about the different scientific areas that they represent. But yeah, we're open for business and your further ideas. So yeah, on behalf of Thomas and I, thank you for your attention. Thanks.
Any questions for our editors? All right, student council, you're next. Can you switch back to the left stick? All right, Jen.
Hello, everyone. I am Gonzalo Parra, the Board of Directors representative, and here with me is Gabriel, our Student Council Chair. And this is a Latin American ruled session because I'm from Argentina originally, and he's from Chile. So I'm very proud of that. And I'm going to tell you about our activities for the last year, and Gabriel is going to inform about the result of our Steering Council Symposium this year. So first of all, for those who are not familiar with the Steering Council, I have to tell you that I'm extremely proud of our activities this year, not only because of all the amount of things we have done, also because these activities are conducted in the entire world. The Steering Council was created in 2004. It's constituted by an executive committee, and this executive committee coordinates a set of regional steering groups that are distributed across the entire world. So this is our executive team, and we are now going to give the updates from the different committees. So the regional steering group has presence in 25 countries in the world. We organize different symposia, workshops, hackathons, virtual events, and we have also money to promote these events. We have three funding calls every year. 2 of them have been already given, which allow us to promote a lot of events, and we were able to fund 29 events last year in total. Also, we organized a global roundtable in May this year. We had presence for 25 of all of the 25 regional steering groups. It was organized by Pradeep, who is around here. It was a huge effort to organize this, especially because of the time zones. But we had the opportunity to listen from our leaders what they need, what they want from us, and also to communicate how they want to continue to grow up in this organization. Because as it was mentioned before, once you start to be involved with the Steering Council, it's easy to network within ISMB and to get involved in different activities as well. So if you are interested, please reach to us so we can speak about possibilities. So this is a map for you to have an idea of where our regional steering groups are located. The different colors mean that some groups were recognized last year and some others were recognized this year, because we have to renew the membership of our regional steering groups every year. And this is a huge work also performed by Pradeep. So big congrats to him. And this year we were lucky enough to have new RSGs, one in Finland, one in Iran, and one in Uruguay. So we are still expanding. Our RSG committee, if you're interested of what we have done during this year in more details, we have a poster on Wednesday, poster C044. So please go and check it out, because the amount of activities this committee have done is really, really great. So from the finance part, we have supported different virtual and in-person events. We are supporting the Latin American Symposium virtually in November, and the second Asian Symposium virtually also in November. But we have also given some money for 4 in-person events for a total budget of $1,350, which it's kind of little money when you think about it in total numbers, absolute numbers. But with this little money, we are able to do a lot, because we funded events in Bangladesh, in Norway, in India, and in Spain. And these are some of the pictures of people being able to go back in person for the first time since the pandemic in our regional groups, because this was not possible, and we took some time to be able to feel comfortable again to meet in person. So these are pictures from the events in Norway, in India. Spain did something very interesting, that they organized in April different events in the different nodes, because RSG Spain is one of the oldest and biggest regional steering groups in our organization. So they organize in 5 different cities, different events. These are some of the pictures from that event. And this is maybe the highlight of the year. I felt really inspired by RSG Bangladesh, also because, as you know, every country that is not in Europe or in North America has financial problems to organize things. Also, they are not so well articulated. So this event, which got together 250 people in Bangladesh, is really inspiring. It was huge. They had keynotes, they had workshops, they have a lot of things, and it's really incredible. So if somebody here is from Bangladesh or know people from Bangladesh, please congratulate them, because it was really, truly amazing. Then from the Inclusion, Diversity, and Equity Committee, it's a very new committee. This is the first term in which we have this committee. So we are starting to get us started with what this committee is going to do. So far, we have created a document that was approved by ISMB on how we have to conduct our activities to reflect on the equity, diversity, and inclusion aims that we have as a society. We have now a committee that will have 5 people. It's still empty. So if you are interested in these topics, which are very important, please reach out to us, because Wisdom, who is not, he was not able to be here in person, unfortunately, but he leads this committee and he's really eager to have more volunteers to help him and to ensure that we are an inclusive, diverse, and equity society. So then we have our education and internship committee. They have also been working really hard this year. They have almost finished a podcast project that will launch in Spotify and Apple Podcasts very soon. It seeks to promote the education of bioinformatics and computational biology through different chapters that will have a total length of more or less half an hour, featuring 2 speakers each time. We want to target very senior people who will not be here to speak about science, but about how they became the scientists they are, which were the difficulties, the obstacles, because here in ISMB, which is amazing, we always see success stories, but there's a lot of failure, there's a lot of insecurities to reach this success. And this is also very important to inspire people that, things are not always perfect, but going through failure, it always teaches you a lot. And we want to hear that from the main minds behind the society here. We also have an internship program that it's named after Anna Tramontano, a great scientist that was part of ISB for a long time. We have almost a little bit more than $3,000 to invest into internships, mostly from female researchers in developing countries. So we are going to have a new call at the end of the year. Details where we'll be going out very soon. And we are creating a database of PIs who are interested into hosting these interns, because what we do is we make the whole selection of the candidates and we give a short list of very good candidates to the PIs, so the PIs can just select from this short list. So if you want to host one of these people, you have just to tell us, we will have a chat, but basically we put money and we make the selection, and you have to complement somehow, sometimes, not always, with some money. So this is a very, very big deal. So please, if you're interested, reach out to us so we can collaborate in this. Then we have a web team. The web team, we don't really have to report on much. Wim Kupers, who is also here, is our vice chair, leads this committee. They always do a great work setting up the websites for all of our events and maintaining our emails secure, free of spam and everything. So congrats for your work. And then we have our webinars committee, which is very active. In the previous years, I think they were pioneers doing virtual events before the pandemics. And now we continue developing together with Nilandri Sen, who is also here. We have a different approach. We want to collaborate more with the COSIS. So we have a pilot in structural bioinformatics collaborating with 3D Bioinfo from Elixir and 3DSig, where we are organizing bi-monthly webinars in different topics in structural bioinformatics, and this has been working quite well. The first editions are already online, and we want to replicate this with other courses, like, for example, HIT-SIG, that is something which is being planned, led by Ana Castillo and Ana Conesa. So I hope we see your webinars up soon. And we are getting very complex. The Student Council is getting old. We are almost 20 years old. So I said about RSG Spain that has 6 different nodes. So they are too big to just have one coordinating team. Something similar has been happening in Peru. They also have divided geographically. And also something similar happens in the Nordic countries, where they started to collaborate among themselves, but also with senior communities to make much more complex structures. So we need people to help us to manage all of this, because it's becoming too much, too big. So we are also short-staffed. So really, if you want to participate, this is the moment, because we are easy to convince to get you on board. And it pays off, because it's a very big opportunity to learn how to lead and how to coordinate a lot of things, and to network with the best minds behind ISCB. So now, just quickly saying that we have different symposia. We have a symposium in Sitges last year. We turned out to be great, the first in-person event after the pandemics hit. We had talks from many places. We have really amazing keynotes. We also have our first ever Asian symposium last year, which was virtual, but again, we had a roundtable, keynotes and talks. It was the first time we were able to have a symposium in Asia, so we are very happy about this. And we had finally published our previous SES, ESCS article from 2021. And just to announce that this year we have still 2 new events, one in Asia, one in Latin America. Both are going to be virtual. So if you have abstracts to send, please do send us. Details will be out very, very soon. So just to say that the Steering Council became really global. We started in 2004 with events in North America. Then we expanded to Europe in 2010, 2014 Latin America, 2015 in Africa, and this year finally in Asia. And we have one very, very big RSG in Australia. So this is really a lot of work. So really, I'm very happy to be here representing our community. And this is just a summary for the events next year. And now I give the stage to Gabriel to report on the Steering Council Symposium this year.
Thank you, Gonzalo. Okay, so the Student Council Symposium is our main event. It is done as a satellite activity of the ISMB. The current edition was done yesterday, and we are very happy to have the chance to have the opportunity to share the results of this activity. If you are following the Student Council or the Student Council Symposium social network, you could realize that this event was announced in March together with the chairs, Syed Muqtadir Al-Siyum and Laura Bichetti from the RSG Bangladesh and RSG Italy, respectively. Working together, Laura and Siyum raised a team with people coming mainly from Asia, Europe, and Latin America, which distribute the task of the event in 5 committees: finance, program, design, social media, and website. 2 keynote speakers were invited to this activity. Dr. Anaïs Boudouot from the National Center for Scientific Research of France, who extended the talk Multimodal Data Integration for Rare Genetic Disease, and Dr. Burkhard Rost from the Technical University of Munich, Germany, with his talk Decoding the Language of Life. Additionally, a roundtable was organized. Its name was Exploring the Potential of Artificial Intelligence Revolutionizing Bioinformatics Research, and has the participation of Dr. Alex Bateman, Dr. Lucia Peixoto, Dr. Dan Di Blasio, and Dr. Farzana Rama. These panelists are very old friends of the Student Council, so we was very happy to have them share their knowledge and experience with us, together with Dr. Boudouot and Dr. Rost. Regarding the student participation, most of them attended in person from Europe and Asia, as could be expected due to the composition of the organizing team. Regarding the oral presentations, most of them also were extended from Asia and Europe. Same numbers for the flash talk and poster presentations. However, in the case of poster presentation, they were most extended virtually. Despite we know that there is a lag in the participation of countries from Oceania, Africa, and Latin America, it is important to mention that in this edition of the Student Council Symposium, 27 countries were reached. Here we have the final photo of this event. It's very beautiful, for me at least. Regarding the best presentations, Miguel Fernandez awarded the best poster presentation. Nikhil George from the University of Waterloo awarded the best flash talk presentation. Julia Cesaro from the University of Padua extended the best oral presentation. We also want to thank our sponsor, Harvard Medical School, who allows the attendant to have a social event after the symposium to relax. we can consider based on the results that it has been a successfully finished event. And we are very happy to invite you to collaborate in the upcoming events for this year, the Asian Student Council Symposium in its second edition and the seventh Latin American Student Council Symposium. So please be free to contact us if you want to collaborate, propose ideas, share the task for these activities as well. Thank you for your time and attention.
Thank you so much for this very contribution actually of student council. I also started from a student council, the first one, the first one. Yes, 2004. Actually, my question is about the website, because you said I saw really nice website design. So maybe it's a good idea finally to update our website for the society, because it's already a few years, and this time it was hard to operate on ISMB website. So I suggest, guys, if you can help, maybe it's a good idea.
Absolutely no. We have enough with our website, but we are happy to give advice to whoever is administrating the ISMB's one.
So please, if somebody can help, I also can contribute. And another question, the last one about the finances, because I didn't have time lost. But maybe we, just a suggestion, maybe we can improve and give better travel fellowships for students, because recent fellowships is just registration fees, and I think in my times when I was a student it was like high. And I think it will be nice having this nice flow of cash in the society to give more nice fellowships for students.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's always the aim, especially from Diane. I mean, Diane is a fan of the Student Council. She always helps us a lot, and they provide volunteer slots for students to have not to pay the registration in exchange of collaborating with the organization. And we also we have sponsors who always help us. For example, Harvard, because of Niels, who was also a Student Council leader, he always provides funding for either the social event or travel fellowships. But yes, we are always looking for sponsors to pay for travel fellowships. So if you know any company or you have any contact, please also tell us, because we are always happy to receive this money to help students to attend.